the final day in a series of videos where one got extremely mucked up. Yesterday's video, if you didn't see it and you didn't watch it, which I don't blame you for not doing, it was a mess up on my part. Basically, the audio just didn't connect the whole day, and I somehow didn't notice. And I hope it was still a tolerable video for those of you who did watch it, but nonetheless, I hope there was information in there that you could learn from. But today is a dumbbell only, if at all, leg day. So this is the hardest day because dumbbells are hard to work the legs with because you want to overload your legs, all right? You want to be doing as heavy of weight as you possibly can on them. And with dumbbells, that just usually isn't possible unless you're starting out. I mean, I remember back in the day when 50 pounds felt like a lot for me, but nowadays that's just not even close to enough. So what you have to shoot for is working out each individual muscle in like a high tension sort of way or a high intensity sort of way. For instance, you just can't do a leg extension motion at home unless you have like those weighted ankle bracelets things. And you can't even get those that heavy. So does it really count? Not really. I mean, you could probably fasten something to your leg that's heavy. It's just not optimal at all. So on our roster today, we have one leg calf raises weighted with a dumbbell. Then we have goblet squats, Bulgarian split squats, and I think we're gonna do some lunges, I don't know, and then some RDLs, dumbbell RDLs. But before all that, I like walking backwards. You can't really do this at home, I don't think. I mean, you can just pace around backwards in your room. Whatever, right? Really good for the knees. But if you're new here, I don't usually do these. I was just doing a little dumbbell only at home series for those of you who needed it. But starting next week, we're gonna get back to my normal bodybuilding journey or whatever. Maybe I'll start numbering it after this. So all you need is a little part of a wall or a beam or something, anything like that, to be able to kind of support yourself on while you're doing these, and a slightly elevated surface, whatever you can get, so that when you're down at the bottom of your rep, you can get that full extension. It's extremely important on standing calf raises to have that full range of motion, otherwise you're just selling yourself short on purpose. Then you grab a dumbbell, hold it in the arm that is opposite of the leg you're gonna be using. Don't pull yourself up, just use it entirely for support as you do the exercise. And it should be relatively hard. We're not shooting for an endurance here, we're shooting for overloading the muscle. Ooh, and it's a good warm up for the day. Since we're not doing any like extremely big compound exercises, you can kind of start with these to get it out of the way and also to get the blood flowing, you know. You can already feel these too. Another set, and a set includes both legs. You can also do sissy squats at home really easily. Maybe I'll do some of those too. I don't know, I like my Sisyphus squats. Try and maintain that balance the whole time. Get that full extension at the top. And try and get about 5 reps minimum per leg. Even if it hurts pretty bad. I just really hope my microphone's working today. It really pisses me off when shit like that happens, because I know it's like my fault and I can avoid it, but I just expect my gear to work. But when it doesn't, oh man, stinky gear. Ew, pew-wee. If I'm being honest with you guys, since I've started going to the gym, I've done less and less dumbbell exercises for the leg, or for my legs, because it's just, they're really not optimal, man. They're not worth your time to do. But I truly understand what it is to start there, right? Because that's where I started, of course. I started like by doing, I think the heaviest dumbbell I had was like a 50. I would just start doing that and I would do like 100 squats for a leg day. That'd be my whole leg day, right? I just didn't understand what I was doing. So here you can, you know, optimize with what you have, because it's really hard to do that. Just, you know, try and shoot for one day being able to go to a gym. I know it's not in everybody's reach. Truly, it's barely in mine, but you know, I make it work. But really shoot to be able to go to the gym, if for nothing else, for leg day. Leg days are just so much better when you have a gym and machines to do them with. Ooh. 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 I almost fell over there at the end. These might be the closest thing you can get to imitating, what are they, leg extensions, because you're doing kind of the same motion. These are just really good for your quads. Great little exercise here. I'm not doing them today because I already have a quad movement in here, but if you really want to imitate the experience of a leg extension machine as closely as possible, it's probably the Sisyphus or the Sissy squat. All right, now for all you need for the rest of this day at maximum is some dumbbells and a raised surface, a bench, a bed, a chair, whatever you can get your hands on that is sturdy, stable, and can support your whole weight while moving at a height, or just dumbbells, depending on the exercise. But first, it's time for the goddamn motherfucker of all exercises, the one that makes you wonder if killing a man would really be that bad. The answer being yes, but in the headspace after this exercise, you never know. And the reason I start with it is so that I don't actually feel like dying by the end. All jokes aside, it's the Bulgarian split squats. I've actually been foreshadowing these all week just by saying I'm not looking forward to it. Yeah, the reason, you might be thinking if you've never done these before, well, it can't be that bad. You're not doing them right if they're not that bad. And two, I don't know how to explain why they're so brutal, but basically by the end of your sets, because you have to switch legs and do a second set immediately after doing the first one on high intensity, high weight exercise, and you feel like you've just run a marathon every set. It sucks. And it's a really good exercise for glute, hamstring, I think, and quad gains. Like overall, it's just a good exercise. It's glute focused, entirely glute focused. And honestly, I should probably do them every week, but I really don't want to. But I'll do them for you guys so that you too can experience the true brutal pain that is Bulgarian split squats. And I don't chicken shit my way out of these. We're gonna be doing, I think, the 50s. I am quaking in my boots. Maybe the 45s. Yeah, probably that. So, line these up with where you're gonna be picking them up and then do that. But the form is you wanna put your leg down and set yourself up so that you are going all the way down and then coming back up, and your knee isn't touching the ground for starters, and you don't feel like there's a bunch of tension in your leg. You don't really want that. Stability is important on this exercise specifically because you're kind of putting your body in a straight line, so falling over is really easy. Just be careful. And then you figure out where you're standing. An easy way to do it is to set your heels out like this. Just straighten them, stand up there, and then put your foot back, if that makes any sense. For either leg, this should work. Okay, not excited. Let's do this. I need to put on a banger for this, dude. Okay, come on. All right, okay, all right. I don't want to do this. Ooh. 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 And switch legs. Okay, yeah, I could fight a war. Dude. My poor glutes. No, dude, no. Why am I doing this? Give me a second to cool down, I'll be fine. Who invented this? Who invented this super good for you exercise? This super optimal, really good exercise that you just can't help but do because it makes you just want to roll over, go home. Sometimes I forget just how brutal this whole thing is, this ordeal of a movement, and I complain about other exercises. I'm sorry. Those are all lies. Feeble imitations of this. What the hell? It's been about 2 minutes since I finished, and I feel like maybe I need to go back in time, figure out who invented this, and stop it from happening. Because, like, I used to think lunge squats were pretty hard, you know, like walking while doing lunges. Those are a cakewalk in comparison to this brutal machination, okay? I have to do this again. Am I gonna go down in weight? No, I'm not a baby. What am I, a little fiend, a little fool, a little child? No. Am I gonna complain? Yes. Am I gonna let that affect what I do? Absolutely not. God damn it. No. The second set did not feel as tiring as the first. That's usually how it goes. But what the hell? You might think I'm overreacting. Oh yeah? 2/3 of your body weight. Go fucking do this exercise. I dare you to come back and be like, oh, he's overreacting. No, this exercise has a reputation for a goddamn reason. Right now I'm contemplating if I even need to do another. I don't want to do another. But I'm trying not to weigh that in whether or not I need to do another one. I think probably not. This exercise is really simple, okay? It's a normal squat, but it's the easiest way to do a weighted one. Back when I first started, I used to just hold 2 dumbbells and go down like this. It's really suboptimal, especially for like trying to balance and stuff. This way, you can keep the weight at your center of mass and hold it here. You can hold less weight overall, but it's just better for form, balance, all that good stuff. We're gonna do 3 sets of this. I'm gonna do it with a 50-pound weight. That's not very heavy, okay? So I'm gonna be shooting for about 10 to 14 reps. Sound good? Awesome. Ooh. Squat all the way down. Ooh. What a crazily easy exercise to follow up the Bulgarian split squat with. Like, in all honesty, this exercise is just really hard to do at home and get a good amount of weight without like worrying about falling over and hurting yourself. To be entirely truthful, it's just, you know, without a squat rack, you can't really do squats very easily or well. But this exercise works all of the muscles a squat does, and it's the safest to do at home. So taking that all into consideration, it's what you got to do sometimes, okay? It's what I used to have to do. It's just what it is. And I had to do it with those dumbbells where you screw the weights on, right? What a pain in the ass, right? But, you know, I think it's less expensive than just buying a whole rack, right? And, you know, it was nice, and it made you feel cool when you loaded it up and started curling it, right? But in all honesty, when you're doing goblet squats with them, because it's the unscrew thing, you can feel it slowly just start to like unscrew as you're holding it up. Super dangerous, dude. I was an idiot of a kid, but you know, it is what it is. I'm here now with a super mid physique, so it did something. All right, 2 more of this. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I'm barely breaking a sweat on these, but maybe I can sit on the 50. Peak. Man, yeah, just make everything in like the idea of like a dumbbell, you know? Just make it way more so it's more sturdy. But then everything would be more expensive. Yeah, never mind, don't do that. If everything in the world weighed 50 or more pounds, everybody would be stronger. Here's my new invention, guys. It's a 50-pound pencil. Have fun writing. Oh, sorry, little Timmy. You couldn't write your essay because the pencil weighed 65 pounds? Oh, fail, idiot. Go hit the gym. You know, the world's a little crazy right now, and it all sucks a lot, but at least we can all go into our own little spaces and work out for now. You know, don't take it for granted. Who knows what'll happen next? You know, I'm not trying to get too political on live or on main or whatever, but like, you know, enjoy the small things while you can. Go to the gym, work out, you know. We got one more of these, and then we'll be done with this exercise. Ooh. 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 Obviously, I'm not gonna go right in and do some goddamn hamstring mobility, whatever fucking shit. Give me a second. I forgot how hard dumbbell exercises are. They're tiring. Because I'm usually not doing this many reps, if I'm being honest. Well, I mean, actually, the amount of tired I feel right now is not compared to leg curls. Leg curls tire me the fuck out, especially that goddamn machine that I just can't help but use because it's so good. But man, yeah, it's tiring. I'm tired. It's probably those Bulgarians, if I'm being entirely honest. I came into the gym full of energy an hour earlier than I usually make it to the gym. Mostly because of that audio mix-up. I just didn't have much work to do today because I didn't have to edit much, again, because of that audio mix-up. So, all that into consideration, yeah, it's probably the Bulgarians. Those goddamn son of them. Oh, God, they're so... What a diabolical exercise. Villainous, even. Villainous. What you want to do is keep your legs together, stand perfectly straight up and down so that you're not working one leg over the other. Bend your knees just the slightest bit as you go down. Not really. You're kind of just bending them as a point of form so that your hands can basically glide along the surface of your calves, right? And when you get to the top, push your hips out just a little bit. But you want to maintain that straight, if not kind of concave back. So on the way down, you're just keeping the tightness in those hamstrings. Ooh. 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 Yep, that's an exercise. Oh, that's for damn sure. I've found more success on these, keeping my knees kind of closer together. Some people do them, I think, incorrectly with their knees apart. I'm pretty sure you do these with your legs as close together as you can comfortably get them without them touching to keep the movement more central to target the muscles you're trying to target. I could be mistaken though, but I'm pretty damn sure that you're not supposed to spread your legs apart. They're supposed to be next to each other. Again, I'm tired. My speech might be a little slurred, but basically doing these dumbbell exercises, you have to focus a lot more on your support, on standing still, and holding up the weight with your forearms does not contribute a zero amount to how tired you are. So if you can only do dumbbell exercises, what I've remembered from this 3-day period here is that it's probably good to invest in some wrist straps. I don't personally need them because machines kind of make up for that if you do it right. But you're going to be working your forearms like every day of the week, and you don't want to do that. On leg day at a gym, you don't have to work your forearms at all. You can just do machines. But because at home with dumbbells, you will not get a lapse in working out your forearms, it's probably good to first get a pull-up bar, and then second, get some wrist straps. Okay, those are one-time investments. You know, if you treat them well, they'll last you years, right? So it's probably good to invest in those if you can't afford a gym membership, right? Because those combined is probably less than 2 months of a gym membership. So, all right, time for my genuine reaction going up the stairs compared to other days. Okay, yeah, that's not that bad. I also only did 4 exercises, when in comparison I usually do around 5 to 7. So, yeah, no, that was fine. The pump's not gonna be too insane here, but, you know, we're still getting somewhere. I think I'm gonna start putting adductors and abductors into my exercises because I want to get that rounded look in my legs. I think what I've learned from these 3 days is I'm happy to have a gym membership, but if you don't, you are perfectly able to get a really good fatigue-worthy exercise out of any of these days. Specifically when it comes to arms, upper body, back, all of that, you can get a pretty good workout in with minimal equipment entirely. So you know what that means. No excuse. You gotta be working out. And if you made it to the end of this video, great attention span. The internet has not won you over yet entirely. You can sit through a whole video. Great job, and I hope I was entertaining. And with that all being said, thank you so much for being here. Have a good morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are, and go work out. Go to the gym. Take care of yourself. Later.